Hi, everybody, it's Amy, and welcome back to A Year in the Life of a Professional Crafter. This update is for 3 weeks in a row, weeks 24, 25, and 26 of last year. Um, this will be a hard video to do because these 3 weeks started, if you'll read the blog posts. I can, put links and all that if I remember. It started with a post that says, I can't remember what I did before Thursday because I remember talking to my mother via Skype on a Thursday, and she said that her cancer, she was Skyping from the hospital, her cancer had migrated from her lung. Okay, for long, way back, it was breast cancer, okay? It metastasized to her lung. And then that cancer metastasized to her spinal cord at the bottom. And she told me that, and that she would not be leaving the hospital. And I called my friend, after talking to her, I called my friend Anne right away, asking her advice because I was out of my mind and didn't know what to do. And thank goodness for good friends. And she said, you have to go to her right away. That's what she said. And I didn't know if I should fly. It's a quick flight, but um, hard to do right away. And I'm not the kind of person who has the funds for a same day plane ticket. And after talking it out with her, this is an amazing friend. She said she would drive me. She had Friday, that was Thursday I was talking to her. She said she got off work early on that Friday anyway, like at 10 in the morning, and she would drive me there, and she would drive herself back. And this is Denver to Eastern Iowa. So an 11 and a half, 12-hour drive. And she did it. That's what we did. She was going to loan me her second car, but then rethought that because she had one of her sons visiting. Anyway, the point being, she drove me home, and I was there on that Saturday then. I talked to my mom Thursday, and I was there Saturday morning. And I spent that whole Saturday with her, and that was her last good day. And so I'm very grateful to my friend Anne who drove me home to Iowa. And then that Sunday, she wasn't as good. She didn't, it was really hard for her to get out of bed, and I think she didn't. And then we moved to morphine on that Monday. And long story short, for that horrible week, um, she died on that Thursday, June 23rd, 2016. The thing about someone dying, especially like your mom, that you don't know, and so I want this to be helpful, so these videos anyway, to be instructive. When someone dies, what happens next is what I call in the blog post, and it's true, or those three, remember this is 3 updates. It's a series of horrible errands, is what it is. We had to talk to the funeral director, and we had to buy flowers, and my sister and I created a display for the visitation. My mother was an antiques dealer, and so the display was, family photos and things like that in lovely antique frames, and some beautiful portable antiques from her house, and a nice tablecloth for the table. We wanted to make it look like her, and I think we succeeded. We found a lace tablecloth for her casket to put underneath the flowers because her casket was polished wood. It looked tremendous, and it looked exactly like something she wanted. Um, I would not call the visitation a horrible errand, but it's something you have to endure when that happens. It was more awe-inspiring than anything. There were over 300 people who came, and that's the size of a small Iowa town. And I think I met every bridge player in Eastern Iowa. I met every single member of my dad's choir as well, at my mother's visitation. People stood in line for over an hour to pay their respects to her and to us. So she had a lot of good friends, and she made a really huge impact on the world. When that happens, I recommend to you to just roll with it and let things go. Um, You know, I had this plan, this a year in the life of a professional crafter, right? And I was going to blog. And even when I was there once, there's a couple, one or two entries where I'm in the hospital with her and she was quiet and sleeping. And so I was just typing away on my computer for something to do. But I was doing it just to give myself something to do. Um, that was not directly, um, uh, helping her die, so to speak, which is what it is if someone has cancer and it's the last week of their life in the hospital. Being around them and giving them comfort is helping them to die. So, um, I had to let things go and I felt really wobbly for a long time. For a long time, I felt really off. I had plans, big business plans, um, that are going to help me, and I'm still moving forward with them. And this video series is part of it. Keep looking over here. This is a camera. This is silly. Why am I not looking in the camera? Why can't I look at a camera? It's not your eye, but I feel like I'm avoiding eye contact. Like that's helpful. Um, these business plans were pushed back for nearly an entire year, just because of the way. I mean, grief is the worst. Watching someone die of cancer is the worst. I'm not here to argue what's the worst, okay? This is not about playing a game of who's suffering more. I acknowledge your suffering. Um, the best piece of advice I think I can give you is to just roll with it and let things go. Set things aside. You don't have to put things away forever. Like I said, I had big plans and I was moving forward with them, and then they were completely derailed. You have to just let it go off the rails for a while and let yourself feel things, I guess. This has never happened to me before. You only have one mom, and be kind to yourself, I guess, as well, which is what I'm trying to do. Eventually it does get better. Like, I'm able to make this video, first of all. Just recently, this seems like a weird thing, but just recently, I had to get a new phone. My phone smashed, so I got a new phone. And when I did, I changed the screensaver for when when you look at it. For almost a year, the screensaver was a beautiful pink rose. And that was from my mother's casket at her funeral when it was all over. When we were walking away, there were several of us who took flowers. We encouraged this. It's no big deal to me. I mean, they're just flowers. They're going to, otherwise go underground. I mean, really. So we took them and broke them off and wore them in our hair, for the day or whatever, carried them with us. I took mine home after the luncheon and I put it in a little glass with water to keep it fresh, and it was blooming more. And so I took a picture of it, and that was on my phone for almost a year. And in my mind, I thought in a year, when it's been a year, I'll change it. My point of this short story is I changed it when I got my new phone, and it's not yet been quite a year. Of when I'm recording this right now, it's not yet been quite a year. But I had decided I can do what I want. I don't have to wait a year. There are no rules. This is my phone. Even self-imposed rules aren't necessarily the best thing. And I think that means that I'm moving forward and I'm not as wrecked as I used to be. So the anniversary's coming up, and so I'm not planning a lot for that day. My friend Anne, who drove me home, is taking me out to lunch the next day, which is nice, on purpose, because she remembers. Be kind to yourself. I read in my mom's autograph book. I don't know if y'all know what autograph books are from way back in the day. They were a thing. They were wider than they were tall. Like they were, 6 inches by 7 or 5 by 7 or something like this. And you would write verses to each other in them. And I found one of hers, and her dad had written in it. And he said in it, I mean, she was 14, and he said that you are 14 and we are at a basketball game. He wrote this little snippet of their life. And he was writing to her. My grandfather wrote to my mom and said, always remember to be good to everybody. That was it. Always remember to be good to everybody. So that's what my mom's life was like. And that's what I leave you with. Thanks for watching.